You're planning a trip to the Jungfrau region and you're looking at two very similar experiences, the Brienzer Rothorn and Schynige Platte. They offer enough differences, so you'll most likely pick one over the other. In this video, I'll help you understand which one will be better for you and more, because this is Switzerland Insider. My name is Greg and I'm Swiss, and my goal is to help you experience Switzerland like a local. Now, Brienzer Rothorn sits above Lake Brienz, and what makes it special is the steam train that takes you up there. It's not part of the Jungfrau Railways network, which means a lot less marketing, and therefore you'll actually see a few locals here and there as well. The views from the top are actually really cool, okay? You get Lake Brienz straight below you, and on a good day, a full panorama stretching across central Switzerland as well. Schynige Platte, on the other hand, is more of a classic. It's part of the Jungfrau Railways network, so it's better marketed and easier to combine with other trips around Interlaken. Also, because it's only a very short train ride from Interlaken to Wilderswil, where the mountain train actually departs. The big selling point is the view of the Eigermörch and Jungfrau mountains. Also, there is a fantastic view of Interlaken and Lake Brienz. So what do you actually do up at these two mountains? At Brienzer Rothorn, the train ride is already a highlight, and in my eyes, the point of even going. You sit in an open-air carriage. If you're very lucky, it smells like coal when you get on an old train, but the newer ones also offer a fantastic time. The train is slowly climbing for about an hour. You pass traditional Swiss chalets, forests, and then suddenly you're above the tree line. Feels like you're entering another world. Rocks, grass, and the pure mountain silence when the train engine finally cuts off. Once you're at the top, you can head straight to the summit. That is a short but slightly steep walk that maybe takes you 10 to 15 minutes. From there, you get a full-on views of Lake Brienz, the whole central Swiss Alps in front of you, and places like Pilatus and Rigi popping up on the horizon. You can hike around a bit, have some picnic, or grab something at the restaurant. Schynige Platte, on the other hand, is different, but in my eyes also super worth it. Again, the train ride is a big part of the experience. The first bit is through a forest, but after that, if you sit on the right hand side, you can watch the views open up more and more. You'll see Interlaken, you see both lakes, and even the first skies around. Once you're at the top, you're welcomed, sometimes literally, by live Alpine music. The first thing that actually comes into view is the Alpine Flower Garden, where you can stroll through and enjoy nature at its fullest. The round-trip hiking options here are a bit better than at Brienzer Rothorn. I recommend the hike past Daube viewpoint onto the Schynige Platte panorama trail that goes past the Oberberghorn viewpoint as well, that offers spectacular views of all around. Now, if you're actually planning a trip to this wonderful area, I've put together the Jungfrau Region travel guide to help you out. You'll find more under switzerlandinsider.com/guides or linked below. Now let's talk about how to get to these two mountains. For Brienzer Rothorn, you will most likely be coming from Interlaken, and for this reason, you can do one or both journeys to Brienz, the village where it is actually located, by boat. And to make it even better, you can also combine it with a visit to the Giersbach Falls or the famous village of Iseltwald. Your trip to Schynige Platte starts from Wilderswil, which is also super well connected. The cogwheel train to Schynige Platte leaves from the same station as the train that you just arrived with, so it's easy to transfer. Okay? There is also a car park nearby if you're driving. And what some people do, if they're into full-day hikes, is go up to Grindelwald first, okay, then hike past Bachalpsee, then continue all the way to Schynige Platte to then take the train back down, okay? But it's a serious 6+ hour hike. A quick word about hiking is especially if you're into more than just the typical small 1 or 2 hour trails, okay? Both Brienzer Rothorn and Schynige Platte are actually really solid starting points for longer hikes. Now, one quick word about the one that actually leaves from Brienzer Rothorn, okay? You might be tempted to hike all the way to Harderkulm on the Harder Ridge. I don't recommend it to start at the Brienzer Rothorn, as the trail from there is not an official hiking trail, and many lives have sadly ended there already. This doesn't change the fact that the Harder Ridge is a fantastic place to spot ibexes. You might be lucky to see some around the Brienzer Rothorn, and if you want to see them actually for sure, I recommend doing the reach hike from Harderkulm to Auxmatorn and back where you have a high chance to get really close to them. I will upload the video soon about this hike, so stay tuned and subscribe if you do not want to miss it. Now let's talk money and passes, starting with the Brienzer Rothorn. A return ticket from Brienz to the top costs 96 Swiss francs at full fare. If you have the Swiss half fare or the Swiss travel pass, it's 48 Swiss francs. Now, there's also an 8 Swiss franc seat reservation fee, which I'd honestly recommend during high season. If you've got the Berner Oberland or the Tell Pass, that ride is actually completely covered under those. If you're just coming for the views from the top, you can also access the Brienzer Rothorn on the cable car from Sörenberg from the other side. You best access that from Lucerne. This is sort of like the local way to go up a mountain, and for this reason you will also only pay 55 Swiss francs for a full fare return ticket, but you're not getting a ride on this fantastic steam train, which in my eyes is an experience in and itself, and if you've never done it, it's a really cool thing. Schynige Platte is a bit more budget friendly, okay? Full price is 64 Swiss francs and you pay 32 Swiss francs with the half fare card and the Swiss travel pass, as well as the Eurail pass. It's also fully included under the Jungfrau travel pass. Here, a seat reservation is not really needed, as it's not a top attraction in the region. Now let's talk about the best time to go, because it really makes a huge difference. Both Brienzer Rothorn and Schynige Platte are summer-only destinations. Both trains usually run from early or mid-June to mid or late October. Always check online before you book. I said that Brienzer Rothorn is a summer activity, and this is not actually really true. The cable car from Sörenberg also runs during winter, with the Switzerland typical closures in November and in spring. So, which one should you pick? If you want to do a full day trip and combine it with a Lake Brienz boat ride, the Brienzer Rothorn is a great choice. Take the train up in the morning, enjoy the steam ride, hike a bit, and then come down in the afternoon, relax on the boat back to Interlaken, and maybe stop at either Giersbach Falls and Iseltwald along the way. It's a full day, but a really good one. Just keep in mind, from up there, you don't really see Eigermönch and Jungfrau very distinctly as you would with Schynige Platte. So, Schynige Platte, on the other hand, it works well as a half-day trip. You can leave Wilderswil mid-morning, be at the top before lunch, do a short hike, enjoy the view, and be back in the Interlaken in the afternoon again. And even though it's less talked about than places like Jungfraujoch or Grindelwald First, the view here is just as impressive. You've got the Eigermönch and Jungfrau lined up in front of you, both lakes behind you, and an easy trail that delivers fantastic views with not much of an effort. So if your focus is Lake Brienz, the steam train, and the more little bit off-grid feeling, go to Rothorn. If you want the big mountain views, easier access, and less commitment, head to Schynige Platte. Or just be like me and do both if you have the time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips. See you soon around in Switzerland. Bis bald und tschüss.